What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Misplayed Magic, where I like to draft with a challenge. The challenge for today's video is we're going to be doing a speed run draft, meaning we're going to jump into it. I've got exactly 3 seconds to make my pick. Okay, launching into this first pack, I'm going to take a Mouth of the Storm. I don't know. That was quick. Zoo Ifit's not great. I looked at some removal effects in the Grav Kill and the Diplomatic Relations, and I decided on a Mouth of the Storm. I think this card is good. It is a 6/6 with flying, so like that's cool. It is 7 mana, which is a ton of mana, but I think it's decent. Cryo Shatter is also pretty good. You know, it was a snap call, but I don't think it was a bad one. Maybe a removal spell is a little bit better, but I don't know. I like the Mouth of the Storm. We'll jump into this next pick. Here, I'm going to take the Biomechan Engineer. I want to be in blue-green. That sounds fun to me. I love the Biomechan Engineer quite a bit. Thought about taking the rare. Could have been smart, but going 2 different colors doesn't feel super, super right. And I think blue-green is probably the best archetype. At least I think it is. And having a Biomechan Engineer to help us ramp into our Mouth of the Storm, hopefully that's good. Launch into this next pack. I mean, we're taking a Larval Scoutlander, and we cannot complain with how this is going. This card is awesome. Helps you ramp your mana, fix your mana. Really allows us to probably be able to play 3 colors if we want to get crazy today. So very excited to be picking that up. I also like the Specimen Freighter quite a bit. Starfield Shepherd's good, but I think we got to try to make the blue-green lander thing work here today. For our next choice, I'm going to take a Mechanizoa, I think. Biosynthetic Burst is pretty good. Ice Cave Crasher's decent. I don't think it's a bad pick. Maybe green isn't super open. Maybe black is a little bit more open. The Virus Beetle is good. Well, I guess that's kind of it. This pack is pretty weak. Night Luminary is pretty solid. I think Mechanizoa is a totally fine pick. And we'll look to bounce back in this next one. Now, I do think I'm going to take a Dubious Delicacy. I think that card making its way back to us is a sign that black is maybe open. So we might go splash black. We might just play a Sultai deck. If we have a ton of landers, we can kind of do that. It's between that and the Thawbringer for me. I don't like the Technician. Nutrient Block's okay as well, but I think we're fine with the Dubious Delicacy. Now, I do think I'm going to go with the Mono with Circuit Feeder. We're going to go with a bunch of really expensive cards. I don't know if this was right. I think it's right. I think we're supposed to be in this lane. Lash Whip Predator's okay. Beamsaw Prospector's alright as well. I don't know. Circuit Feeder being there makes me feel like black is more open. For our next pickup, I'm going to take a Beamsaw Prospector. I like this card fine. It makes a lander. I do think that blue-green is not open based on what we're seeing here. I don't really want to pivot into white or red. I think us pivoting into black with a Dubious Delicacy was smart. I'm going to take a Beamsaw Prospector here, and hopefully that's somewhat open. Now, I do think we just take the Alfarial Dreaming Acolyte. It is more of an artifact-centric card than anything else, but maybe a sign will be playing blue-black, maybe splashing green. I don't know. I like the Scoutlander and the Biomechan Engineer. We might just play hard 3 colors today and just go for the greed pile. Continuing through, very excited to see a Diplomatic Relations here. Really solid removal effect. I think we have some big creatures to staple that onto. That's a pretty good pull for us. I think the Sentry is also okay. I don't mind it, but we don't really have any spacecrafts to take advantage of, so I'm more than happy picking up a Diplomatic Relations here. And maybe we're going for just a Sultai greed draft. We'll take all the good cards we see in Sultai colors and hope it works out. Continuing through, I don't love the Cryologist. We'll take a Pedigree Beckoner, Perigee Beckoner, but I don't love it. Litho Breaking's fine. Exosuit Savior's not great. I mean, I think it's a fine pickup. Here, we'll take a Scour for scrap just because Dark Endurance is bad. And I don't really think we're going to be playing red. I mean, I don't know. We might. But I think the first signs were that black is somewhat open. Here, we'll take a Dark Endurance, but it's a lot of bad cards at the end there. Here we'll take the Cloud Sculpt Technician, but it's not fantastic. And jumping into our next pack, I'm taking the Glacier Godmaw. I'm doing it. We're doing the fun thing here today. We're going to try and draft a Sultai Lander deck. Very excited to see a Glacier Godmaw. This card is a wagon. I will say there's a lot of other good cards in this pack for us. So Mouth of the Storm, another one would be okay. I will say our curve, we got to be like somewhat responsible. Galactic Wayfarer is good. Even the Siriema is decent. I don't think we're going to move into like a double white card. But Galactic Wayfarer and Intrepid Tenderfoot are both really solid as well. But we're excited to see a Glacier Godmom. Moving on into this next one. And I'm going to go with a Depressurize. I say it so hesitantly. I think it's good. I mean, it's a removal effect. I think we're going to try it. I think what I'm realizing is I would like to play blue, but there's a chance we're just going to go black-green. I do like the Biomech and Engineer, though. I don't know. I'm going to take the Depressurize. We maybe will cut our blue. I don't have to play Mechanizoa. The Alfariel is not great in this deck. I do think the Engineer is solid, so maybe it's more of blue on the splash for like a Biomech and Engineer, Mouth of the Storm. I don't know. I'm going to take the Depressurize and move into this next one. All right, now I'm going to go with the Thawbringer. I think the Lapship is really good. It's really good. But I think the Thawbringer is going to help us just curve out. I don't know that we're going to be playing blue. Maybe it's a sign that blue is open. Maybe I should have taken the Synthesizer Lapship. I don't know. My snap judgment could definitely be wrong, but we have to take the Thawbringer here. Now, I do think we need to take a Galactic Wayfarer. Wow, there's so many good cards in this pack. We have a lot of good removal effects. So I don't really feel the need for a Black Relations or a Close Encounter, but the Specimen Freighter is really solid. It's really expensive. And the Cryo Shatter is good as well. There's tons of good cards for us here. We're going to take the Galactic Wayfarer just to help smooth out our curve and our draws here a little bit. Now, look, I'm taking the Biomech and Engineer. We're playing the 3-color greed here today, and we're going to try and just play a Sultai deck with a bunch of landers. And this deck looks really powerful. Jumping into this next one, and I think we just take another Beamsaw Prospector. Was that right? Maybe. I do like the Mechan Navigator, but again, I don't know that blue's going to be one of our early colors. I like the Beamsaw Prospector here, and then maybe we'll do like blue on the splash like this. I think that looks pretty good. I do like the Biomech and Engineer quite a bit, so I think it's worth trying to make that work. Here, I do think we take a Grav Pack Monoist. I think this card is decently good. There are so many red cards. Devastating Onslaught is fun. It can be really, really solid. Like if we created 2 copies of the Mouth of the Storm and they got haste, we'd be just whacking our opponent in the sky. But I'm going to take the Grav Pack Monoist here, and we are not going to be splashing that on the top of our curve. Continuing through, I do think we take a Samby's Curiosity. I know this card isn't great, doesn't entirely replace itself, but I think if we end up playing blue more aggressively, having cards like that are going to be really helpful for us. Continuing through to this next choice, I am going to take an Intrepid Tenderfoot here. I like this card quite a bit, especially for flooding out. Just being able to draw that, make it into a decent threat that can grow throughout the game, I think is pretty good. Now we'll take another Mechanizoa. Terminal Velocity is fun. We could have had some crazy top-end red cards. I'm going to take a Mechanizoa here. Maybe we'll play all 3. I don't know. Here we'll take a Steel Storm Operator, but that card has not been performing all that hot. I mean, Specimen Freighter coming all the way back is fine by us. We'll take a Meldon Moxite to round out that pack. And we're going to, I mean, my goodness. We're taking the Elegy Acolyte. This card is a wagon.
You're exactly right, and you get a point.
Oh. This card is so good. So good. Whenever you deal damage to a player, you get to draw a card to lose a life. And then if Void triggers, you also make a 2/2. It's so good. It's also just like a 4/4 with lifelink, which is a great rate. So we're more than happy taking the Elegy Acolyte here. We also didn't have any 4 or 5s yet. We just have 1s, 2s, 3s, and a bunch of 6s and 7s. So very excited to help sort of round out our curve there and take an Elegy Acolyte. Continuing through now, I do think we just take another Dubious Delicacy. Maybe the Scanship's a little bit stronger. Oh, Gene Pollinator would have been really good. I didn't make my way all the way down, but Dubious Delicacy is really solid. So I think we're more than fine picking that up. Here we will take... I'm gonna do it. I'm going to take another Mouth of the Storm. I don't know that that's right. The Voidborn's okay. Galeblade's okay. Biosynthetic Burst is actually pretty decent, but we're going to take another Mouth of the Storm here. That might have been wrong. Now, I do think we'll take an Umbral Collar Zealot. I think this card is pretty strong. I want to make sure we have a bunch of 2s that we can play in our deck. I think the Zealot is solid enough. Depressurize also would have been okay, but I think we've got enough removal effects here. Continuing through to this next pick, and I do think we actually take a breeding pool here over Galactic Wayfarer. Is that crazy? I think I've already gone past my 3-second time limit I set for myself. I'm going to take the breeding pool. I think we've got enough cards that we are excited to play. I want to make sure our land fixing is decent in addition to all the landers that we have. For our next choice, I am going to do the absolute meme thing and take the Dominion Bracelet. This card is not grading super well, but we have a lot of really, really powerful top-end creatures that we can attach that to and maybe take some extra turns. So I'm going to pick the Dominion Bracelet. I don't know if it's going to make its way into our final deck, but it's a meme, and I'm feeling a little bit memey today. Continuing through to our next selection. I don't love the Blade of the Swarm. I mean, maybe it's a Germinating Worm. We don't have any 5-drops right now. Now I do think we're actually pretty excited to pick up a Seed Ship Brood Tender. It's either that or a Dauntless Scrapbot, but we're going to go with the Brood Tender here. I will say, you know, I recognize that we have some... oh gosh, we have to pick quickly. Diplomatic Relations. I realize we have a lot of 2-drops that are 3 different colors. That's okay. That's fine. Everything's going to be totally fine. We'll take a Diplomatic Relations here. And our deck, I will say, it's very powerful. Very, very powerful. We can draw our lands well and effectively. We're going to be rolling here. Here, I will take a Virus Beetle. I think that card is totally fine. I don't know if it's going to make its way into our final deck. It is good. Dark Endurance is not great. We'll take a Starfighter Pilot, and that'll be the end of the speed run draft here. Let me know in the comments. Did I do everything in less than 3 seconds? Maybe. We might even play the Mono Sentry. I don't know. All right, so here is the deck we're going to be rocking with today. It looks really fun. We've got a little bit of some meming potential with the Dominion Bracelet. We also are playing a ton of different colors in our 2-drop slot, which I usually wouldn't recommend, but we're going to draw our lands so well. We're going to get some landers going. It's going to be just fine. Let's go ahead and jump into this first game. And before we jump into this first one, just to do a quick reminder that I'm going to be doing a giveaway based on how I draft. If I get 0 wins in this speed draft, I'm giving away a collector booster pack. All the way down to if I get 7 wins, I'm giving away a draft. Obviously, to claim this is, I like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below, and let's jump into it. We've got a weird hand. We've got a Dubious Delicacy, and then a 7-drop, a 6-drop, and 7-drop, 7-drop, 6-drop. I'm going to mulligan this. Woo! This is actually better. This is better. We'll put back a Forest. It's a little bit slow, but we can play the Galactic Wayfarer on 3. We can go and get a Swamp to play our Dubious Delicacy and our Grav Pack Monoist here. So it's a little slow. Hopefully our opponent is not black-white aggro. Servandum is super solid. So whenever the creature you control dies, just put an exile. If it's a 1/1 counter, they gain a life. Okay, you know, that's a little worrisome. I think we have no choice but to play out of Forest. Pass, and then next turn we'll play our Galactic Wayfarer. I am probably going to actually go and get a island with that. Hopefully we just draw an island or a swamp here so we know which one to go get. Slidegel Scrapper is fine. A Beamsaw Prospector is interesting. I do think now we don't have to decide on our lander right away. But I do kind of want to get their Servandum off the battlefield quickly, just so that it doesn't get to that 4 power threshold. Sammy Ship's Engineer is decent. We'll continue to take 2 here. Okay, we do draw a Swamp, which is great. So now we have some decisions to make. I think we probably just play out the Beamsaw Prospector, and then on our opponent's turn, we'll go and we will get that island. So we can play our Biomech Engineer and our Monoist, or one of our removal effects next turn. Chrome Companion is fine. This is such a weird attack. And I'm going to absolutely bite. They can tap their Slagdrill Scrapper, which I think is what they were going for. And they're just going to trade with our Beamsaw Prospector? Okay.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
If they can kill our Galactic Wayfarer, maybe they wanted that and they can take out our Galactic Wayfarer. That would be good. Okay. I'm just going to go and get an island. Interesting things happening here. And now I do think we're just going to go diplomatic relations, and we're going to try and take out their servandum here. We still have the dubious delicacy if they do some shenanigans. They're going to sacrifice a land and draw a card, not the servandum. Okay. I think we're fine with that. And then I'm just going to attack for 4. Seems good. And then I do think I'm just going to play out our... Well, I guess in the interest of mana, let's play the Monoist. So next turn we could play the Biomechan Engineer, crack a lander, and play the Dubious Delicacy if we draw a land. So I think that makes the most sense for us here. They have a Contested War Zone, which is not good. Sure. They're going to sacrifice the Contested War Zone and draw another card, which is totally fine. They're kind of using their resources to draw more cards, and I think our board state is actually decent now. Sunstar Expansionist is pretty good. But I like the spot we're in for sure. I do think we are going to start by just attacking. And then we might flash into Dubious Delicacy if they double block. Yeah, we probably will. And then we'll just play our Biomechan Engineer, crack some landers, and eventually we'll get this to 8. So here, I think we are fine going to damage. And then I'm just going to play out our Biomechan Engineer. And then I'm going to play this actually untapped, so that we can potentially hold up the Dubious Delicacy and also crack a lander on our opponent's turn, which would get us to that 8-land mark for our Biomechan Engineer. So their Expansionist turns into a 3/3, which is decent. Radiant Strike is fine, so they're going to get some life back. Yeah, nothing we can do to stop that. I do think we'll probably take out their Sunstar Expansionist when they can't draw a card off of it. They're going to get another life here. I'm going to do that. And then next turn, we'll probably just draw some cards with our Biomechan Engineer if I had to guess. I'm going to go and get another island, although it doesn't super matter what we get here. We are not blocking. Depressurize is interesting. I do think I'm just going to attack with the Monoist here. And then... do we do this on our turn? It doesn't super matter. Yeah, I'm just going to end our turn there. We could depressurize, but I think we're just going to activate our Biomechan Engineer. If they attack us with their Chrome Companion, I'm fine blocking with our 2/2 that we create there. Our opponent had an island as well. Cool. Corral of the Void is crazy. I think the reason people hate that card is because you can just do this. I'm glad we kept up our Depressurize. Yep. And then we are going to go and just get another forest. Just to thin out our deck a little bit here. And then I do think we're going to have our opponent lose some life here. Next turn we can attack them for 4 more. Mouth of the Storm is an insane draw. So we're going to start by going to combat. Do we play around a board clear? Maybe we should. Yeah, let's play around a board clear. I think either way we're going to win this game. So I'm going to not play the Mouth of the Storm like a weirdo. And then we're going to draw some cards if they end up having a board clear here. If not, I think we're in a totally fine spot. And even still, we're drawing some cards. We're creating another 2/2. I think we're in a totally okay spot here. Mechanozoa is just fine. They're going to tap down our Monoist. That's fine. And go get some more lands. So maybe we should have played our Mouth of the Storm. But I still think we're in a totally fine spot here. We draw some more lands, which is not ideal. Wow, Elegy Acolyte is kind of insane. I'm just going to keep going full control. I'm probably going to speed this up so you don't have to just watch us go quickly between turns, but I'm just going to be attacking. And then I am just going to play the Mouth of the Storm here. That way their Mechanizoa can't really tap us down. But we're gonna speed things up here. Yeah, Chrome Companion does not quite get it done. Moonlit Meditation! Our opponent decided to play all the bad cards. Sure, that is one of the worst decks I have seen in Edge of Eternities, but we're 1-0! So we cannot complain. The speed draft deck is on. Okay, jumping into this next one, we go first. We're more than happy keeping this. We can go with the Breeding Pool. We're going to have it intertapped. Into an Intrepid Tenderfoot, hopefully into a Larval Scout Lander. We might think about putting an extra land in our deck. We're just such a mana-hungry deck here. We'll go with the Intrepid Tenderfoot. I will say, too, we can use the Germinating Worm to crew the Scout Lander. We just need to draw any land right here. Any land would go over wonderfully. Starfield Shepherd is good. I assume they're going to go and get a Plains. And we draw a land. I mean, it's just, it's good to be us. So this is Station 7. So because of that, I'm going to play this. I'm going to take out our Forest. I'm going to go and get a Forest and an Island. And then I'm going to station with our Intrepid Tenderfoot so that next turn we can warp in our Germinating Worm, and then we can start to attack with our Scoutlander and our Intrepid Tenderfoot. We also can play the Brood Tender as well, so very, very fortunate to have drawn a land right there. So now I am just going to do what I said I would last turn, and we're going to go Siege Ship Brood Tender. Ooh, getting the Mono as Circuit Feeder back is going to be sick. We'll warp this for 2. And then we will station and attack for 5. We're going for it. And then next turn we can actually go and get the Monoist Circuit Feeder, which will be decent. Or we can just play out a Germinating Worm. I think I'll probably do that. Banishing Light is good. We'll see what they get here. Yeah, they're going to take our Brood Tender, so we cannot go and get our Monoist Circuit Feeder. But that is okay with us. I do think now we probably just attack and then play a 5/5 and hope they don't have a board clear. I will say, though, I don't think they would have used their Banishing Light had they had a board clear in hand. At least I hope they wouldn't. Starfield Shepherd is a good sign for us. A very good sign. They're continuing to add to the board, which means they probably don't have the white board clear. And it's not a super well-statted creature, so we're going to be able to kill that with a Diplomatic Relations. And then we're close to having lethal here. We'll take out the Starfield Shepherd. And then I do think we'll just attack everywhere. And then we'll just play our Grav Pack Monoist. Because either way, we weren't going to have lethal there. But this is as good as our deck can possibly be doing. We are curving out really well here. And then if we draw a land next turn, we can play our Glacier Godmog. Cosmic Grand Zenith is sick. Exosuit Savior is really solid. So we get to draw another card, the Cryogen Relic. And all of a sudden, we don't have lethal. Wow, what a turn. What an incredibly cool turn. Incredibly cool turn. I do think now we probably put a counter here. And then we'll just swing out everywhere. And then we'll play our Biomech Engineer. It makes it so that Cosmic Grand Zenith couldn't just eat our Intrepid Tenderfoot. They do have the Ilvoid Galeblade as well in hand, and the ability to just kind of make more things. But we've got a big board presence. Playing a Biomech Engineer there is good as well. I assume they'll be able to double spell with the Cryogen Relic and the Ilvoid Galeblade. So they'll continue to make a decent board presence. Starfighter Pilot is decent. They are going to tap down our Larval Scoutlander here, which is probably the right call. We do not have lethal as it currently stands. So now I do think... it's tricky. I think we have to get the Glacier Godma online next turn. But I also want to pressure our opponent because they have a tremendous amount of cards in hand. I think I'm going to go to combat, and I'm going to continue to attack everywhere just to put the most pressure on our opponent. I think we're fine losing a Biomech Engineer to a Cosmo Grand Zenith or a Starfighter Pilot here. It's not ideal, but it's also not bad. I'm fine with this trade. And then I'm just going to play out a Galactic Wayfarer, and the goal will actually be on our next turn to draw a land. So we can play the Godma, and then we can also play a land. Hopefully that's right. Our opponent, the Cosmic Grand Zenith, has done a tremendous amount of work here. The way Operative is a good start. I assume they're going to continue their double spelling streak here. I will say, too, our Scoutlander is just lethal. Why did I say that? Why did I have to speak? I didn't have to. Okay, so now all we need to do is draw a land. If we draw a land, we are totally fine. If we don't, we could lose. Our opponent could certainly come back here. Land one time. Cryogen Relic continues to be solid. I think I'm going to go now and get a forest, although it doesn't super matter. And we want to draw land. One time, let us draw land. Yes! It's incredible. It's incredible. Today's our day. And we draw that land so everything can attack, and we get there again, I think. Yeah, we do. All right, we are 2-0 on the day, and this deck looks really fun. All right, our opponent goes first here. They kept a hand of 7 cards. And should we mulligan this? Probably. But we have all of our colors. We're probably going to draw some cheap creatures. And if we don't, we've got to depressurize. We can hold the fort for a second here. Hopefully. They have a 1-mana spell. We drew a Biomech Engineer, which is a great draw. A fantastic draw. So we're going to play a forest into an island and play that Biomech Engineer. Night Luminary is fine. I'll make a 1-1. I think we are okay with that. Now, I do think we'll just play out our Biomech Engineer. I do think we'll probably use this lander to go and get a swamp so that we can eventually play our Monoist Circuit Feeder. Seam Rip is pretty good. I don't think we have a way to get rid of that, so we just lose our Biomech Engineer, unfortunately. But that is okay. I do think now we'll play a swamp, and then if we want to depressurize something, we can. And if not, we can just crack our lander. I think we're okay continuing to take 1 here. Night Luminary, for real this time, is decent. I think I'm going to go and get a swamp just because next turn we can still depressurize that. We don't have any other action in our hand as it currently stands. And this allows us to maybe draw like a 3-drop and then play our depressurize as well. Specimen Freighter is okay. I do think now we will just depressurize their Night Luminary while they don't have mana up. And then next turn we can play our Specimen Freighter. We can get rid of their 2 tokens. Or maybe a creature and a token here. And then we can play our Monoist Circuit Feeder. So green is a 3rd color for our opponent. I did not have that on my bingo card. Sammy Ship's Engineer is solid. It's definitely not bad. So I think now we'll go Island. I do think we're going to play our Specimen Freighter. My only issue is I think we actually are going to play the mono with Circuit Feeder. And we'll take out one of the 1/1s. That way we can block the Sammy Ship's Engineer. I'm going to try that. We're going to take out a token. And then now we'll try and block the Sammy Ship's Engineer. And then next turn we can Specimen Freighter or Diplomatic Relations. I think that makes sense. I just think if we had returned Sammy and a token, they still would have just made another one the following turn. Halia is good. Is quite good. We'll see if they attack us with their Sammy here. They might just like sacrifice a 2/2 to be able to Sammy Ship's Engineer, which I think is fine with us. So they could just make another 2/2 here, which is not bad. That's good to draw a card, which is decent. So now I do think that's a great draw. So I'm going to go Diplomatic Relations, taking out the Sammy Ship's Engineer. And then I'm also going to take out their Halia, Guided by Light. And then we're going to attack our opponent for 6. And then next turn we'll be able to play our Specimen Freighter. So just kind of clearing the board, resetting it here. And then we'll still get to get rid of both of their tokens with our Specimen Freighter. Hopefully, that's the goal. Wedge Light Rammer is decent. I will say they are going to have a lot of tokens for us to get with the Specimen Freighter, but the Wedge Light Rammer is close to being a creature. Okay, that is the only action they had. We continue to draw some lands, which is not super ideal. I think I am now just going to return the 2/2s to our opponent's hand, and then I am going to station. I think this game is going to go longer than it is short, and this way we can hopefully attack with our Freighter and our mono with Circuit Feeder next turn. Dawnstrike Vanguard is good. I mean, it's not great, but it's good here for sure. So their 3/4 gets online, and then they're going to have 2 tapped creatures at the end of the turn. So maybe we should have attacked. It also is going to make their 3/4 into a 4/5. Dubious Delicacy is almost good. I'm just going to play a Forest, and then we're going to try and block, and then play the Dubious Delicacy and take out one of our opponent's things here. I assume they're just going to attack everywhere. A Blast Zone is interesting. Don't have a removal effect. Okay, so how do we want to do this? I think we're probably supposed to block the Dawnstrike Vanguard instead of the Wedge Light Rammer, just because we're probably going to be making a creature. And then we'll pass to damage. We'll play our Dubious Delicacy, and we will shrink down their Dawnstrike Vanguard. If they have any sort of interaction here, we just lose. But we're going to try it. It's all we can do. And this way we take 6. And then we need to draw a creature next turn 1 time. I'm also going to gain some life with our Dubious Delicacy here because we are close to dying here. We are going to gain some life ourselves. We'll go back up to 5. So the Wedge Light Rammer can't kill us on its own next turn. Beamsaw Prospector is good. It is good. So and then now we're just going to station. And hopefully we don't die. They have some sort of interaction here. Maybe it's just the Blast Zone. I guess they can take out our Specimen Freighter, but they'd have to have 6 charge counters on it. Yeah, they can't do that. Yeah, so it has 5, and then we're not attacking, and we can block. The Blast Zone doing some work here against us. So they can put 1 more counter on it and then take out our Specimen Freighter and our mono with Circuit Feeder, which is not bad. Yep. We predicted this. Oh, we draw another swamp. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. So they're going to take out Each non-land permanent with mana value equal to the number of charge counters. We are dead. Dead to a blast zone. Was not on my bingo card. I say that. We technically can attack with these two, and then we can block with our Beamsaw Prospector. And then technically, if we pull a Leviathan, we could win. So let's try that. Vanishing Light gets it done. Wow, pulling a Vanishing Light too is kind of insane. But we go down here. We fought hard. We tried, and we are now 2-1. Hopefully, we can bounce back in this next one. Okay, we go first in this one. Gosh, we've had some weird hands. Some really weird hands. Do we keep this? I mean, probably. I mean, we can't cast either of our Diplomatic Relations. Our Elegy Acolyte can't be cast. Mouth of the Storm is not going to cast for a minute. We'll draw early action. I hate mulliganing. I might hate mulliganing too much. We'll play this tapped. We'll save our life. And then hopefully we can draw one of our 2-drops. We have so many 2-drops. Like a Beamsaw Prospector is right on schedule. I almost played a Forest, so we couldn't play it. But we will play the Beamsaw Prospector, and now all we want to draw is a Swamp. If we draw a Swamp, we are good to go. Steel Swarm Operator is totally fine, and now I think I'm going to go Larval Scoutlander here. We're going to get rid of our Forest. We're going to go and get an island and another swamp. I'm then going to station with our Beamsaw Prospector because next turn we can play the Elegy Acolyte, and then we can station with the Acolyte and the Beamsaw Prospector, and then attack in the sky with a 3/3, which hopefully will be good. I'm hoping. So we're going to go Elegy Acolyte here. We could have done Diplomatic Relations as well, but I think this is a little bit stronger. And then we will just attack. We will draw a card and lose a life. I'm just wanting to draw lands at this point. Biomech Engineer is not bad, though. So next turn, if we draw a land, we can play a Diplomatic Relations and the Engineer. Mechan Assembler is pretty good. I think we probably are supposed to get rid of that. Yeah, so I'm going to do that. So we're going to go Diplomatic Relations with our Elegy Acolyte targeting the Mechan Assembler. We'll go back up to 20, and then we are just going to attack everywhere and hopefully draw a land here. Forest would be even more ideal. Island's totally fine, though, and we will end our turn there. I think earlier I said Island and Swamp, and I meant to say Forest and Swamp, and I got the wrong land. I'm just now realizing that. Yeah, I don't know why I got another Island. I might have even said Forest, and I'm just now realizing that, but it's okay. It's okay. Everything's fine. Our board presence is good. We can still play a Biomech and Engineer and get our other forest, excuse me. So it's fine. Pinnacle Emissary is cool. Do they have a 1-mana artifact? They do. Oh, I guess the Steel Storm Operator also works. All right, very cool. Very, very cool from our opponent here. What do we do now? I think we're probably supposed to Diplomatic Relations, take out their Pinnacle Emissary, but us not getting that Forest is really coming back to bite us here. I think I'm going to actually Diplomatic Relations and take out their Pinnacle Emissary. Yeah, okay, we're good, and we get there again. We are 3-1. I think this deck has the legs to get a trophy and potentially give away a draft. Okay, we go first here. It looks great. It looks grand. We can play a Prospector into a Gravpack Monoist. Is not bad at all. So I'm going to go with a Swamp. Edge Rover is pretty good. I think we're okay trading, though. Because we have the Glacier Godmaw in hand, getting landers is not the worst thing in the world. Attack us. Ooh, they don't want to attack us. They fear us. I do think, weirdly enough, I'm going to attack. I'm okay with the trade here. I want to get to our Glacier Godmaw. I want to ramp into our cards here. And now we will just play I think it's a Graph Pack Monoist over Beamsaw Prospector. Beamsaw does trade well with the Edge Rover, though. No, let's use our mana efficiently and just play the Monoist. We'll see if they attack us here. They did draw their second color in the Mountain. Ice Cave Crasher is good. Mouth of the Storm, though, also pretty solid. So I think now we'll just attack with our Monoist. And then next turn we'll just... on our opponent's turn, excuse me, we'll crack one of the landers we get from our Beamsaw Prospectors. We've got a couple 7-drops in hand we would like to get to. Like a double block here is probably mathematically an incorrect play. But we're going to go for it. We don't care. We're double blocking. If we're wrong, we're wrong. If they have removal spell, they have removal spell. They have Biosynthetic Burst, of course. I lose to this card a lot. I will say that we still get to go and get our land here, which maybe I'm too excited to ramp into our expensive cards here. But I think us getting a lander is totally fine. Do they have another 2-mana spell? That would be sick. Yeah, Zookeeper Mechan. Why not? Why not? Here, I'm going to go with another island. We have the other forest in hand. And then now we can almost go Mouth of the Storm. It's going to get bumpy for a second here. We are not going to be attacking. We're going to end our turn there. And this is going to get really dicey for a moment here. I'm okay trading with anything but the Ice Cave Crasher. And the Zookeeper Mechan. I didn't think they were going to attack us with that. So we'll take 7 here. And then we will pass to damage. And then I am just going to crack a lander. We're going to go and get another forest so that we can play our Glacier Godmaw. And then we also can play a land. So I'm going to do exactly that. And then we are going to play another forest. And then I'm going to just attack everywhere. This allows us to, next turn, that we can play the Mouth of the Storm and also attack with the Mouth of the Storm by cracking this lander, because we're going to have 8 mana to play with. Ooh, Invasive Maneuvers is crazy. Are they going to go double removal spell here? And Close Encounter is kind of wild. Double removal spell, taking out our creature, and are we dead? We are almost exactly dead. But we're not. Next turn we'll play our Mouth of the Storm, and we'll try and hold on for a second here. They're going to go get another land. Just another forest, and we will take 8. Yeah, it doesn't feel great. But we have the Mouth of the Storm still in hand. We can bounce back. We can bounce back from this. Galactic Wayfarer is not a bad pull at all. I do think we just play our Mouth of the Storm. We're probably in no business to be attacking. Yeah, we're not. And we'll end our turn there. And we will crack another lander. We'll get another land. We will have so many lands. Hopefully our opponent hits some land pockets too. Nebula Dragon! No! No! They pulled a Nebula Dragon and we're so dead! Oh no! Oh, that is a bummer. That is a big fat bummer, and we are now 3-2. Okay, our opponent goes first here. Again, great opening hand. We cannot complain. We'll play a Tenderfoot on 2 into a Graph Pack Monoist. Hopefully that's good here. Just a normal magic hand. Lightless Evangel is decent. I do think we'll just play our Intrepid Tenderfoot. Nutrient Block is good with the Evangel, so it's going to turn into a 3/3. I do like they were trying to bait us into blocking there. Glacier Godmaw is not a bad pull at all. I do think... I don't really feel the need to use removal. on their Lightless Evangel. So I think I'm just going to attack. I assume they're going to gain some life and draw a card here, and we're just going to play our Graph Pack Monoist. Okay, Elvoid Galeblade instead is fine. Swarm Color is decent. They are not attacking us. So now I think we'll play a Swamp. And then I think we're supposed to depressurize the Swarm Color. And then attack everywhere. So they don't get their card off of the Galeblade. And we've got a Germinating Worm still. So I think I'm going to do that. We could also just play the Germinating Worm and get some life here. I think I'm just going to attack and be a little bit of a psychopath here and just try and clear out the board just because we have so many good cards in hand. I think eventually we'll draw the lands we need to make those happen. And here, yeah, I guess I'll get my life then. We'll gain 2 life. We don't get to station any spacecrafts, but that's okay. Getting back up to 20 feels decent. Mecha Navigator is pretty good. Beamsaw Prospector is fine. I guess we just play that and pass. Ugh. Really would have liked to draw a land there or a possible like lander source. But we don't. So we're going to turn their Lightless Evangel into a 3/3. They'll gain some life and draw a card, which is not bad. So they're back up to 4 cards in hand. I do think I'm totally fine blocking this with our Beamsaw Prospector, and then we get to crack that lander, and we can go and get an island. So I'm very excited about that attack. They are digging for something as well, but I think that bodes decently well for us. And we will go and get that island. Now we can play our Germinating Worm next turn as well, which is fine. Mono with Circuit Feeder is interesting. So, gosh, our opponent has so much mana up. I don't know what to do about that. Do we just hold up the Dubious Delicacy and let them play into us? And then our Circuit Feeder becomes good if we draw a land? Maybe. Actually, it's probably just playing a Germinating Worm. And we'll see what our opponent has. So I'm going to start by attacking with our Monoist. Again, if they want to trade with their Galeblade, I'm fine with that. We'll give them down to 15. And then I'm going to try to just play our Germinating Worm. If they have a counter here, at least it's out of their hand. And we have other better things they can't counter. And then any land we draw from here on out is glorious. Any land we can get, we're excited about. Looks like our opponent might just have a ton of lands in hand. Okay, Forest is great. How do we want to do this? I think it makes the most sense for us to attempt to Specimen Freighter first. Again, if they have a counter.
Why? 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 Why?
Wow, they have a null in hand, which is weird. Very strange. I think we just attack with our Germinating Worm now. I will say they could have countered our Dubious Delicacy or our Mono with Circuit Feeder as well, so I don't think we took the worst of that in that exchange. Alfariel is decent. Discarding a Beamsaw Prospector and a Miminon, the right hand. So discarding some solid cards there. Embrace Oblivion is really good. Really, really strong. So now our... We could pump an attack. Or we can just play a Glacier Godmaw, which would probably be smarter. And then next turn we could potentially play the Circuit Feeder and attack with it. Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to attack with the Monoist. And then we're just going to play our Godmaw and be responsible. I thought about pumping the Tenderfoot, making it a 3/3, and then attacking, hoping they would block, playing the Dubious Delicacy, and then killing it. But that felt like a lot of things. Here, Pinnacle Killship is not bad. I wonder if they are just going to station that. Yikes. So that is not bad at all. I think we just go Galactic Wayfarer. And then we buff up our Intrepid Tenderfoot. And then we attack for 5. And that makes it so our Mono with Circuit Feeder can do 3 points of damage and buff something by 3, which is not bad. We'll see if they attack us here. I don't think they will. So now I do think we just go... Oh, that's 6 mana. I did that slightly wrong. So I do think I'm just going to put a counter on our Intrepid Tenderfoot. And then we're going to attack with just the Intrepid Tenderfoot and try and pick off their Pinnacle Killship or their Lightless Evangel here. And then I do think we're just going to try and Dubious Delicacy that. No! We just got totally housed by that. Oh, I did not think they had a removal effect in hand. Oh, that is so bad. Let's still crack a land here. Oh, that's so bad. We can still take out the Lightless Evangel, which is not horrible. And then we still do have the Mono with Circuit Feeder. Oh my gosh, stop drawing action! Oh my goodness. That is really solid. Mouth of the Storm is such a good draw. Such a good draw. I think we just play that. I'm just going to play it. I'm not going to overthink this too hard. They are going to draw another card here, which is not bad. And then we are not going to be doing any attacking here. And then next turn, hopefully our Mono with Circuit Feeder can help our Mouth of the Storm attack a little bit better. Another removal effect. Oh my gosh. This is insane. Yeah. So they're like, this Evangel turns into a 3/6. I still think we want our opponent to lose some life here. But they've had all the answers so far. They also get to draw a card from that, which is so solid. So solid. Diplomatic Relations is really close to being good. If we play this... Oh, no, it is really good. So we can go Mono with Circuit Feeder. We're going to give our Galactic Wayfarer +2/+0. Their Pinnacle Killship -0/-2. Then we're going to play a Diplomatic Relations with the Galactic Wayfarer targeting the Pinnacle Killship. Don't have more action. I can't take it. I literally can't take it. Please. Please let this work. Okay. We can do this. And then we'll attack. Come on. Consult the star charts. Holy smokes. Okay, we still have them in a rough spot here. They get to put 2 cards in their hand, though. I assume it's 2 removal effects. Our opponent's deck is also just sick. Come on. Hold one time. Starbreach Whale is really a solid blocker. What else do you have? Beamsaw Prospector is not great. So we'll just start by attacking. They have to block our Mono with Circuit Feeder. And we should. If they don't draw action here, they're dead. Yep. I'm going to hold. Come on. No! Well, I say that. If you cast it, draw the first spell, I mean, this is insane. We have to kill them right here. If they pull a removal effect, we die. Oh my gosh, are we going to lose this game? Cryogen Relic is so good, so they can tap down one of our things. Oh my gosh. Our opponent is just living the dream right now. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, sure. And we just have nothing but lands. I will say in our library there's a lot of action, but this is going to be tough. Oh, we draw another land. We draw another land. This is how we go down. Oh, this is so sad. This is so sad. Our opponent was down to 1. They were down to 1, and they pulled a Weft Walking. I will say it is kind of sick. It is kind of sick. They are living the dream here. Yeah, Nutrient Block is for sure good. Beamsaw Prospector, also solid. Why not? Why not do all of the things? Oh, I'm so sad. I will say we have 2 dubious delicacies. If we pull... Well, I say that. They'll just crank their Nutrient Block. I lied. That doesn't even do it. Biomech Engineer is actually not bad. Thank you. We're going to try and claw our way back into this. I believe. Diplomatic Relations is really solid. So we can go Diplomatic Relations, targeting their Starbreach Whale. They're probably just sitting on removal effects, aren't they? Okay. And then we can attack with our 2 flyers? Question mark? I guess maybe we shouldn't attack with the Monoist. Maybe we should just attack with the Circuit Feeder. So that way they have to block. Because they have some sort of interaction. Oh no. Maybe they have all lands in their hand. We never know. You never know. They might. Okay. 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 Hold on. Hold on! Elegy Acolyte is good. I think we go no blocks. They say good game. They could have drawn a... Oh my gosh, we get there! We come all the way back from the Weft Walking, and the Biomech and Engineer gets us to where we are still alive. Somehow, some way, we're 4-2. Okay, we are on the draw here. But this is fine. I like having double Beamsaw Prospector. Eventually we'll go and we'll get an island. Yeah, I think we're happy just kind of, you know, trading these off and building towards a Glacier Godma. Sammy's Curiosity is not a bad pull at all. So I think now we'll go Beamsaw Prospector. And the next one we'll probably just play the Sammy's Curiosity and crack it and go and get an island. Larval Scout Lander is good. We have one of those. We also might just play our other Beamsaw Prospector and then play our Sammy's Curiosity. I don't know. Gives us another chance to draw a island. And we'll start to get somewhat aggressive. I will say with a couple Beamsaw Prospectors though, like what are we afraid of? I think I'm just gonna attack. And I'm just gonna play a Sammy's Curiosity. We're gonna go and get an island. So we can next turn play our Biomech and Engineer and a Beamsaw Prospector or an Intrepid Tenderfoot. I think that just makes the most sense for us. We also might next turn just play the Biomech and Engineer and immediately crack that lander. Seriema is solid. Our opponent does have the problem of... Oops, all spacecrafts. They don't have anything to crew their things. Here we will go get our island before we pass through the turn. Wouldn't be my first time doing that. And yeah, I think I'm going to attack. And then go Biomech and Engineer. We'll play a forest as our land for turn, and then we'll just crack this and go get another swamp so we can play our Elegy Acolyte. I guess we have another swamp in hand, so we'll actually go get a island. So we've got double blue, double green, and we will have double black as well. We also can play our Glacier Godmon next turn, pretty ahead of schedule, which would not be bad. Our opponent does get to make a lander there. Rough-Blade Enhancer is decent. So they're going to try and station up their Larval Scoutlander here, which they will do. Or maybe it's this Ariema. Is that Station 7? Oh, yeah, that's good. I thought it was Station 8. Yeah, that's not bad. They're going to do all the stationing here. So I do think now... This is interesting. I think I'm going to go Biomech and Engineer. Beamsaw Prospector. I could have done all this after combat. I guess I will just go attack. And then the goal is we go get a land here, and then we can play our Glacier Godma if we draw a land. I don't think it's bad. We also can just start using our Biomech and Engineer to draw some cards, which will be decent. But I think the goal is that they overextend here, and then we can draw a land and do the thing with the Glacier Godma. We'll see how they attack here. Okay, so we really want to draw a land. We're not going to block. We're going to take 9. And the goal is that we draw a land next turn. We'll see if we can do it. There was a land on top, so maybe we should have left it as is. But we'll take 9. And then the goal is that we can play our Glacier Godma. We can play a land. And we can try and steal a victory here. Lash Whip Predator is good. Alright, we need a land. One time. One time, one land. Oh, it's not a land. That's bad. That is really bad. I think I'm going to go Monoist into Intrepid Tenderfoot. I'm really thinking through here. I think that makes the most sense for us for just staying alive. And then we hope they continue to overextend here. And we'll see. And then I think the goal is that we can go and actually get a land with our Beamsaw Prospector. So we kind of want them to attack us everywhere, so we can chump block with a Prospector, get a lander, and then we'll crack it, and then next time we can play the Godma and use that lander to attack. So we'll see. It's going to be close here. It is going to be really close. But they don't know we have a Glacier Godma on hand. Okay, they are going to attack us literally everywhere. I'm afraid. You know what I'm afraid of? I'm afraid of a Biosynthetic Burst. That is what I'm afraid of. Oh, good night. I mean, if they have it, right? I think this makes the most sense. They have a Biosynthetic Burst. They'll put it here. They'll get through 8 points of damage. They have to have double Biosynthetic Burst in their last 2 cards. I think this is right. And then we'll crack one of our landers, so they'll get a land. We'll go down to 10. And hopefully this is enough. Sammy Wildcat Captain. I literally have never seen this card. Double Strike Vigilance. Spells you cast have affinity for artifacts. That is not bad. So we are going to crack this lander. We're going to go and get a land. And if our opponent has nothing else, we can win. So I'm going to try and do that. We're going to play the Glacier Godma. We are going to crack our lander. We're going to go and get yet another land. And then we're going to attack everywhere. And if they have a 2-mana removal spell, they have a 2-mana removal spell. But either way, our things have vigilance, so I don't think this is a bad attack at all. Come on. Let us have it. Of course they had Biosynthetic Burst! What did I say? What did I say? That card continues to haunt us. We get our opponent down to 3. Okay. What else do they have? Oh, we're just dead. We just lose. Why does Biosynthic Burst hate us so much?
My disappointment is immeasurable. And my day is ruined.
Why does it hate us so much? And we go down. That's where our journey ends here today. A lot of really, really fun games. I kind of thought we were trophy bound. Maybe I could have played a little differently in that last game, but I thought I put us in a good position to win. And this is where we go down. So this deck goes down. We were 4-3. We never even saw the Dominion bracelet. Never even came to us. That's okay, though. That's the way it goes sometimes. And based on my performance, I'm going to be doing a giveaway of a rare card set from Edge of Eternities. I've got some collector booster packs I open. I've got a lot of really fun, good rares. It won't just be crappy bulk rares. If you're interested in winning that, please make sure you're commenting, you're liking, and subscribing. Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time.